welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. We're so excited to launch our new Farmside Chat Series. Before we begin, I wanted to just give a shout out to Tori. Tori, wave your hand if you can see her. She's our Director of Community at Farmers Footprint, and she's put on this event. So thank you, Tori, for your time. And you might have interacted with Tori already in Mighty Networks. She's the one who spearheaded that group. So she's really your point of contact. If you want to communicate to the Farmers Footprint team or have questions or anything, Tori's your girl. She's amazing and pretty much lives in Mighty Networks. So don't be shy. My name is Leah. I am a content producer for Farmers Footprint, and I've been with the team for about 15 months now, so just going over a year. And I had the greatest pleasure of visiting Samantha, our guest today, at her home in North Carolina, and got a little glimpse of her life and the amazing work she's doing, and had the privilege to document it. And so in a bit, after I introduce her, I'll show the video, which if you're on Instagram, we posted that this morning. And for those who are not, we'll play it soon because her story is really best heard through her own words. Am I hearing an echo? Okay, it's gone. So anyways, without further ado, I'd love to first really take a moment to honor and appreciate and so much gratitude to Samantha for taking time to be with us here today, because as a mother and farmer and entrepreneur and running a business and doing so many things, her energy can be and time can be in 10 different places right now, and she chose to be here with us. So Samantha, I really can't thank you enough for choosing to show up and be here with us and share your story with us. And this is really a place, it's your stage. I'm gonna shut up and just pop in every so often to ask some questions, but otherwise, I really am excited to hear your story and pass you the mic and let you take it away and share whatever you want to share. So thank you again, Samantha. Thank you for everyone showing up, and thank you, Tori, for hosting. So for a more comprehensive background of Samantha, you can visit our blog that just got published this morning. So Tori will send that in the chat if you haven't seen it yet, and you can, dive into her story there through our perspective. But and I'm going to play the video, which gives you kind of a taste of what you're about to immerse yourself in for this next hour. But nothing's more powerful than hearing someone's story from their own voice and their own experience. And that's what we're really dedicated at Farmers Footprint in doing when we're sharing these farmers' stories, is removing our lens from it and really handing the mic and giving the farmers the opportunity to speak and share through their experience. So Samantha Foxx is a mother, a farmer, a beekeeper. She's running a CSA program and has a market in the middle of what I experienced and looked like as a food island, essentially a food desert. You open the door to her market and there's bounty of fresh produce that she's grown and other BIPOC farmers in her area contribute to. And right next door is a gas station and a convenience store and literally no access to fresh food. So she is bringing so much health and vitality to her community that in this space, there's no other access to that. So I applaud you, Samantha, for your devotion to this work that is so beyond you. You are serving so many people. And I'm going to play the video now, and I hope there's no lag, because sometimes with sharing the Zoom video, there's a lag. And then I'm shutting up and it's Samantha's stage, so stick with us. We're gonna play this video. Here it is. All right.
Farming is a way for me to be able to connect to the soil and the earth, and it's a healing sense that I get when I do all of that, because I do realize that the blood of my ancestors is inside of the soil that I'm working with daily. I feel like they're guiding me each time I come out here. They're surrounding me. They even have an actual museum that has the blood of the slaves in the soil, inside of the soil, in jars. Yes, and it's loads of them. As a black woman, a mother, we have to wear our armor out here in the world, especially with so much racial injustice and negativity that we see daily. So having a place where you can take that armor off, be free, not only in your space but in your mind, is so essential. The soil is healing. I just like to plant my feet inside of the ground and just connect. And the microorganisms inside of the soil, they are able to balance out serotonin in your brain and really give you that natural remedy you need to some of the ills in the world today. Planting a seed might seem like something that's very small, but in fact, it is one of the most revolutionary things that you can do. I'm out here working, and when I'm touching the ground, I'm changing something in this universe, in this lifetime, in my life. I'm changing it for somebody else. I'm just empowered and thankful each day I can walk out here and be able to plant another seed and just create life and share that not only with my family, but my community. You're really just opening your heart to the world by farming. That's why I think it's therapeutic, and that's why I want to talk about it all the time. That's why I'm so excited about it. That's why I'm sharing every chance I get to connect with the bees and my plants and chickens, because it's energy and it's life, and I'm sure it's keeping me for sure. I am Samantha Foxx. I am a farm her, beekeeper, entrepreneur, and mother, and plus mother of the world.
All right.
Wow, 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 wow. That's just such a almost breathtaking experience to watch on the outside as an individual doing it. And I'm just so happy that I have the ability to share all of this with, anybody that I can come in contact with and touch with this beautiful story. It's very emotional when I look at it from the outside, and how I'm really reclaiming my time and my freedom, and also, making this something that's beautiful for Black people in our culture, Indigenous people, and really just kind of reclaiming our time. So, first of all, I want to thank everybody who has been following me. I want to thank everybody that's sharing the space with me right now, because I've just been really intentional with everything that I'm doing. My energy is just in a lot of different places. Like Leah said, at one time, sometimes, I'm on three different TV shows in a day, and then you come back home and everybody's like, I saw you here, I saw you there. And I'm just really just trying to conserve that energy and that all of the good stuff, for all of the good things that I need to put it into. So first of all, I just want to thank you all for showing up for yourself, because I think that the message that we're sharing here is definitely going to be for who it's meant to be. So I think that everybody who showed up definitely has some intention on in some ways healing themselves, like how I'm doing in terms of planting seeds, or healing themselves through learning about how Black families are dealing with farming, and like I said, kind of reclaiming our time. So you're still showing up for yourself because you're taking the initiative to see it from somebody else's standpoint, perspective or point of view. And I think that's a huge thing, to be able to do that and acknowledge that somebody else's perspective might not be your own, but being able to willing to so many different things. And we went out into my bee yard, and, we connected with the bees. And it's really, like I said, for me, such a spiritual thing to be outside. I'm relearning a lot of things in terms of things that I've been taught throughout my life, and passed down from, my family and my grandparents and, my elders. A lot of it is still things that I need to kind of relearn and really just regroup and find a better way, just to be honest. I need to really find a better way for my kids and my family, my community, and really across the world. I think at this point it's just a humanity thing. It's not just me, it's not just my family. It's definitely beyond my community, and it's global at this point. At this point, we really all, need each other more than we think that we do. And I think nature is just such a good way to kind of break down walls and barriers, and really to be able to connect with people on a different level, because it really just doesn't have a color. Like, nature is colorless to me. When I look at that, I don't see, it's for everybody. It's not a black or white thing. It's not a social status thing. It's not a social economical thing. Is something that we all can come together as one and relate to. So a lot of times I just try to use what I'm learning in nature as lessons to share with other people on how we can connect and kind of unify and do things just in more of a cohesive standpoint, and really build up something that's tangible for our future. I really do think about the future and the longevity of what really matters, and, saving those seeds, planting seeds. Definitely number one for me, my biggest passion is educating the youth and being able to teach children about being empathetic to this earth. That's something that I teach my own son. But if we don't fulfill that job by taking the time to educate the youth about what we need for them to do and how we need them to respond to everything that's around them, then, it just really feels like we're failing as a whole. And that's just kind of like a hard pill for me to digest, especially being a mother and raising a child. I have an 18-year-old child, soon to be 18-year-old child, 7-year-old child, and I want them to have a better future. So, like I said, I've been so vested in community and going out and educating children, and that's a passion that I will continue to do. As many ears as I can touch, I'm gonna continue to do that type of thing. And it really is just more of a personal journey at this point, and trying to establish what I need to do first and foremost to make sure I'm healing myself, and that way I can share with other people and come from a place of love and just wholeness, and really being able to share the whole journey. So it's definitely not a perfect ride. I can admit to that. I'm growing daily, but I do have such a great support system of people who are really standing behind me, and I'm really thankful for that type of thing, because this is some really deep rooted work. It's some really hard work, and I'm proud to have the job and kind of wear the crown and really kind of change the scope of how we see all of this, and to really make it into something wonderful. I'm sorry I got a little bit long-winded there, but I was really just kind of feeling the whole video. It's like I said, it's just such an emotional video to watch. And it's hard for me to think about anybody who can't really see the beauty in all of that. It's just such a beautiful video. It almost brings me to tears when I watch it, because I think we all need to have that, sense of connecting to the earth. And like I said, it's really therapeutic, it's really healing. And I just want to share that experience with as many people that I can, and just get them to get outside and explore. And right now I think the world really just all needs some healing. The whole entire world needs healing. We all need healing in some sort of way. And I'm just kind of carrying the flame along the way and lighting it, and hoping it ignites into something that's big, and just keep the fire going. I want the fire to, really shine bright through anybody who I can touch with my hands, my words, the bees, the chickens, all of it.
Mm. Thank you, Samantha. I would love to dive deeper into that concept of using farming as healing and really the transformative power it has, because the quote you said, really, since I've heard you say it, has stuck with me of every day you're in the soil, it's with the blood of your ancestors and you feel them, connected to that land you're on. And just looking at the traumatic past of farming that has been very exploitive and traumatic. So how have you been able to reconcile that relationship with farming and essentially turn poison into medicine by using it as a tool to heal yourself and empower your community also?
Really, first of all, I had to really get to know who I was and really, learn about my history and where I come from and really, understand who is Samantha and knowing that I think really kind of breaks down those walls because I'm able to really stand proud and confident and know exactly, that my history is not determined by what I have always read in a textbook. So I really started just to do research and going out and really trying to get a grasp of like where exactly I really think it's just been more of a fearful tactic that has been used in traditional education when it comes to Black men, women, and children looking at their history through that scope and that type of textbook. So I had to like rewash all of that and go out and find out that number one, my history didn't start at slavery. And I'm definitely more than that, and my ancestors are more than that. And I really firmly believe in paying homage to my ancestors. So it was not hard to take on a responsibility like this because I really feel like they've laid down so much for me to have the honor. It's an honor for me to do this. I'm privileged to be able to walk in these shoes and to have this type of power. So, once you kind of just get up there and you regain your power, you kind of get knocked down. I've definitely been knocked down in life, but it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's about getting back up. So I really just started kind of reclaiming my power, understanding my history, and planting those seeds. I went to a class and I was able to have the ability to learn more about farming, which I did grow up around in the eastern part of North Carolina. But once I moved to Chicago, of course, all of that was erased, and I didn't get a chance to kind of explore, what I was already around as a child. But I think things happen in time, so that reconnection was really good for me. It was at a perfect time and a place for me to really slow down and pay attention to what I was doing and have the time and the energy to put in all of this. And I really, really am thankful to, have the opportunity to be able to get back out there because a lot of people don't get this opportunity to go out and reclaim their time and reclaim their land and that type of thing. So it's really just a healing process in general because it's making me better daily by going out and trying again with the seeds and especially being able to nurture bees is such a huge responsibility daily. I mean, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of lifting. It can be dangerous, anything out here can be dangerous. And I think that's why it's such a sacrifice for farmers to be out there daily. I don't think people really, fully grasp what it takes to put food on a table or a meal on the table because they're just so disconnected from the whole process of their food and where it comes from, how it travels, how it's harvested. They don't really get to see the day to day, so they don't have that connection like we do, which is something that I've really been wanting people to kind of get more of an understanding is like, what does it really take to put the food on the table? Who actually produces your food? And it seems like such a simple question, but most of us, they really don't know. And I'm pushing about going to markets and meeting your farmer, connecting with your farmer, and asking them questions about their growing practices, and really trying to reconnect the people back to their food.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So, what would be your advice to the people watching who are, cheering on and passionate about this, what is the best way to support, contribute, be involved through your perspective?
You
From
know,
the consumer side, sorry.
definitely just taking the time, like I said, to acknowledge who their farmers are in their community and support them in any way that they can and amplify their voices as much as possible. Lend a hand if you can. I know times have changed with COVID, and a lot of people, aren't allowing people on their farms just to keep things safe. But, it might be simply saying, Bob down the street sells honey, or Samantha down the street has collard greens, and really just trying to bring back that whole, connective value of community and, kind of stand up for one another and build your local economy. I just really believe in the local economy and supporting families that you know in your community, opposed to some of the bigger box stores. And I think, that's really another way to kind of take back your power in terms of strengthening the whole community and supporting and amplifying everyone. And I definitely am a huge advocate of that. Anytime I do interviews or that type of thing, I try to make sure I'm exposing brands that might not get the visibility that they deserve, with their products, and share as much as I can with my followers. And it makes a difference. Those people actually do, get sales. And I'm happy to do that type of thing. I always do that type of thing, because it's a place that's really just, close to my heart. People do it for me. And I'm definitely happy to pay it forward anytime that I can. But just support the farmers, and get out and understand what they're doing, understand the practices, understand what it takes for them to do what they're doing daily, to sacrifice, and just show them some appreciation. People really are thankful when people appreciate what they're doing. And I think those are just a few ways to connect. And definitely, if you can plant pollinator plants in your yard, start by doing pots of things that you grow, that you eat, and grow them on your porch, or a raised bed, or in the ground, however you could do it. It definitely helps out doing those type of things. And you don't have to start large. You don't have to have a huge amount of space. Just use what you got and kind of get creative with it. And I think that, that's where we are right now, is just using what we have to make the best of each moment here daily. Every day that we're waking up now is just truly a blessing, and we can't take any of those days for granted. So, it's like, what kind of seeds do you want to plant? What do you want to be remembered for, when, it's kind of all said and done. So, daily, I think about this quote from Octavia E. Butler. And the quote says, all that you touch, you change, and all that you change changes you. So I just truly live by that quote. Like, when I'm touching the ground, I'm changing something, and it's changing me. When I'm touching the bees, again, I'm changing something, and it's changing me. When I plant that seed, it's going to a family, and they're so thankful to me. I'm changing something by that seed that I'm watering and nurturing daily. And I think that's just like the best quote to describe the feeling that I have when I'm out there, is everything that I touch is changing something, and it's like a cycle, and I truly believe in that cycle.
Beautiful. I felt that when I was with you in your backyard, and the way you dance and commune with the bees and the chickens, and you're part of that ecology. And it's just so beautiful to witness someone so in their element. We had a question come in, and I would love to open it up after this one, for you all here to personally ask your question to Samantha. So we'll do a little raise hand technique I'll walk us through after this one. So on your journey to farming for your community, what institutional barriers have you encountered and overcome? How? Follow on, what barriers have proven to be more challenging?
It's just been a lot of barriers. It's been a lot. I can just say this journey has definitely been a lot, and it all looks glamorous and that type of thing. And people just really don't know what you go through daily to do what you're doing. You know, I've been called a nigger and, you know, get up and go out again in my own community by people in my own community. Um, let's see, you know, I mean, people have been, you know, I get some rude comments, you know, it's hard, you know, and I have to really just kind of tune out everything and kind of just focus on what's important. So, you know, having an attitude, you just try to be the best that you can be. You know, I'm not really kind of banking on anybody to, you know, kind of get everything that I'm doing, or, you know, it's just not for them to get. But, you know, that's a really challenging when you can deal with things like that and get back up and come out here and try again. A lot of people wouldn't even try to do that. And you know, really I just pat myself on the back for growth, number one, and being able to, you know, get past those type of things and do it with such an attitude that, you know, I'm gonna be the change that I want to be. I want to be the change that I want to see. So I have to just keep trying daily to conquer the world. You know, it's definitely a battle. It's gonna be hard. I understand that. I'm prepared for that, but those are some of the things. Of course, number two, I'm a black, not only just black, but I'm also a woman. So, you know, this is a male dominated industry. So it can be hard to, you know, just overcome, you know, some of the stigmas that people have that we don't fit into this industry. And you know, like I said, I come out here every day. I'm confident about what I'm doing. I know that I'm in the right place, and I'm just living out my dreams at this point. So I'm happy to share, like I said, anything that I can along the way. But for me, it's really like I'm doing this for myself and my family and anybody else who wants to gravitate towards that. I'm happy to have them and include them and share with them, you know, some of my experiences. But, you know, it's kind of like one of those things where it's me versus me. And that's how I have to attack it daily.
Mm. Thank you. So I'm switching to gallery view just so I can see everyone. And if you have a question, you can go to click on participants, and there's a raise hand function, the blue raise hand, you'll see that under all the names. So if you have a question, please raise your hand and I will call on you, and then you can unmute I think we can do that, unmute yourself, or Tori will unmute you. So any questions you have for Samantha? And in the meantime, I have many, so I will ask you one while you all can also type in your questions in the chat if you prefer that way. So one really inspiring part of your story is your son, Farmer Boy. And I'd love Tori to drop in his video in the chat if you haven't seen him yet. With how has his life been molded with what you're doing? Because at his young age, to know so much about farming and bees, I mean, I can't wait for his future. And so just that relationship, you really bring family into your business. I mean, your husband's designing the labels and helping harvesting, and your son's making incense. I'm burning them right now. They're
They're
amazing.
so good. Yes, I love them.
So it's really a family, you know, business you have, and you've involved everyone. And so also specifically with your son known as Farmer Boy, yeah, what's your intention there with bringing him into this world?
Well, you know, I'm really thinking about him being the future. He's the youngest one of the family, and you know, he's been able to be exposed to this pretty much half his life. So he's able to go out in his bee suit, and you know, he had his first sting, and like you said, he just knows so much by being homeschooled, and this is really the basis of his education daily is centered around agriculture. And for us, this is a lifestyle. This is our entire life is centered around what we built here. And when you go out there, it's just so much energy. You can definitely feel the energy when you're out there, and you know that people have, like, you know, put their all into every um, single piece of it, because everything we've built by hand, you know, our chicken coops, we've used reusable materials for that, pallets. We've all built those things together. He even gets out there with the hammer, and he can remove nails. And, I'm able to really connect with him one-on-one, and give him that really nurturing that he needs. And I really just truly believe, I was in the educational field. I went to school for education prior to getting into this. That was my major in college, was early elementary education. Wanted to be a teacher, so it was really easy for me to homeschool my kids. I was doing it with other kids. I was always involved in community centers, did my own community led things with children, and really tried to just be a beacon of hope of everybody in the community. So, really with him, my hope is just to plant as much as I can with him. And I really see him kind of grabbing the torch wherever I leave it off, and really flying with it, because he's so confident and he has the ability. And he just does an amazing job of explaining and educating to other children. So initially, what I did was I was going out to schools before COVID, and I started bringing him with me when I would go to the classroom, because I always felt like, I'm an adult, and I felt like kids could really relate to seeing him in the bee suit, and really see it on their level, because you really want them to be able to place themselves out there. So I started bringing him with me when I would go out and do talks or career days. And it was like a dynamic duo. I loved it. And the children, like I said, they're like, wow, like I can actually do this, because they can really visualize themselves more so in his shoes than mine, because he's their age, he's at their level. And it became something that he was able to go out and just have components where he would teach other kids. Like he would talk about certain parts of the equipment, and he can do that self-led. So I'm seeing that emerging prince one day becoming a shining king out here. And just like I said, keeping this torch going, keeping what we're trying to build here as a family going. And really just trying to create generational wealth for them, and be able to understand that their skills are something that are important, and I want to nurture those skills. So it's more so like, what do you like doing? Let me help you evolve what you like doing, and understand what you like doing, so I can push you more towards all of those things. And farming is the type of world that everybody can find something they like. Like somebody might like to be out harvesting, somebody might like to build the irrigation systems, or a solar panel. That's my oldest son right now. He's looking toward a program doing some electrical work. So he wants to build some solar panels. So, I'm super proud of that type of thing, for them to even have the mind and the confidence to think that they can even achieve these type of goals, because their imagination is not really smothered by a traditional education system. And this is not knocking anybody who isn't in a traditional school setting, because I've been there, my kids have been there, I've taught in those type of settings. But at the end of the day, as you get older, you realize that you always got to do what's best for you. And for my family, I felt like that was the best thing for me moving forward.
Beautiful. I'm going to pass the mic to Xavier if you want to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, Samantha. I appreciate your story, and I'm glad to see you wearing the true Corona there. My father left me almost 5 acres in Ridgeland, South Carolina, where he's from. I'm in California. That's where my life is. And I've been thinking about how could that land best serve the community? What would be the best use? And I'm coming around to the idea that maybe a regenerative CSA would be good. I'm wondering if you have any pointers. How would I find somebody, who has the heart and expertise to take on something like that? Because I wouldn't be able to do it personally.
Okay. It's such a really good question, because a lot of people are in those type of situations. And Xavier, it's nice to meet you. I really, like I said, appreciate you being here today with me, and just sharing this space and time with me, and listening to my story, listening to my words, and just the whole collective energy here. But the CSA, I'll tell you, number one, like you said, you're really going to have to find somebody that has the heart to do it, because it is a lot of work. And I'm just going to be truthful about that. I ran a CSA through the summertime, and you know, it's very demanding to do. So for me, you know, I think that might be something that you might want to ease into, maybe after you really kind of get the space into, you know, kind of like moving some energy there and really kind of seeing who you can usher in there to take on that huge responsibility. Because like I said, a CSA, a lot of people do it 1 year and then they never come back again. And I can see why, because like I said, I've been in those shoes this summer, and it was very demanding alongside of everything that else I was doing. But that urge of me knowing that people really needed food was like a driving force. I pushed myself to do it, and I'm still doing some this winter too, because I'm like, people need to eat. I'm here. That's my responsibility. But I would honestly, you know, with that land, if you could, I would do a community garden just starting out, because you're going to learn to find out who's really in there to be there for the whole thing. And I think that's just a good way to start finding your eagles out there. I call them eagles. So you know, I would really think about, you know, starting maybe something community centered and somebody who can really kind of, you know, run what you have in day-to-day operations, and you know, just kind of scoping out who are those eagles in that community. And I'm sure there are probably plenty that would really love to take on that responsibility, but I think it would be something that you definitely need to like build. And maybe like a community driven thing would be a good start with that, because then they know, you know, like who needs what in the community. They know actually what's going on in terms of the local food scene, and kind of can connect the dots in a tangible way to really get people who are in need of food daily what they need. So I mean, that's a great start. That's a great amount of land to have, and to be able to build something magnificent with it. And there's so many communities, like I said, that are willing to like really reach out right now and help each other. But I think that would be a good start for you.
Mm.
Thank you. That makes a lot of sense. I appreciate it.
No
Good help.
problem. And feel free, you got my email to like reach out. I think all the information from my website is listed there where you can reach out, you know, if you have questions further down the line. But you know, like I said, it's just so much responsibility with a CSA. You're definitely gonna have to just invest some time and see like who is really vested in, you know, like seeing everybody eat. And I'm like I said, I'm sure it's an eagle out there that's really to take on that responsibility and make it be everything that you want to be, that you want it to be.
Yeah, and
Thank
Xavier,
you.
I'm in California and I know some eagles, so I'll reach out to you on Mighty Networks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. All right. Now we got the questions rolling in. Let's pass it over to Mia. If you'll unmute yourself, please.
Hi, Samantha. I love your story and your passion and everything. It's awesome. I am a student in Philadelphia right now, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do and what I want to get into. And it's been really helpful for me to kind of hear people that are doing what I want to do, kind of hear their background and where they came from. So maybe I can try and relate and kind of figure out where I want to go from there. So would you mind sharing a little bit about your background? You mentioned that you were an education major and stuff like that, but yeah.
Okay. First of all, Mia, thank you for being here, especially a college student. I appreciate you even taking the time to want to listen to this really adult talk here today that most college students probably aren't, you know, exactly interested in. But like I said, I think everybody who is meant to be here today is here, and that's including you, Mia, because we're going to get you together here and get you on track where you need to be to get these goals in order. So for me, I just have to say I was just kind of all across the board. I didn't go to college until maybe I was in my 30s when I went to college, and I was pregnant with my youngest son when I was completing that course. So I was a later in life college goer, but I just wanted to do it so my kids could specifically see me doing that type of thing, because I wanted to show them both worlds. Initially, I was an entrepreneur. Hold on one second. And I went to cosmetology school. I actually was probably not one of those kids on the straight and narrow, just to be honest with you. Like I in the story it's written, I was adopted at 13 years old by my uncle. I lost my brother at 13. And I had to spend a few years just going through therapy to kind of get over all of these traumatic things that I had to go through in order to kind of be where I am now. But so what I'm getting at is it's okay not to have it all figured out, and it takes time. So I think the first steps are you are acknowledging that you're kind of a little bit off centered about what you're trying to do, and I think that that's like really the beautiful part of it is you have to go through like every single piece to kind of figure out what really drives you and motivates you to wake up daily and say, I don't care if I'm sick or I'm tired, like I still want to go out there and do that. And it's taken me, I'm 40 years old now, and I'm finally again finding what moves me daily. So, like I said, it's been a trippy ride for me. I'm just, really thankful, like I said, to be here to share, some of my journey and what brought me here. And definitely, being transparent. A lot of people don't want to tell you that, they've been adopted or, they had to go through these traumatic experiences. Losing my brother at 13 is probably one of the hardest things that I had to get over. It was my best friend, and kind of coming back out there and try to, like I said, heal myself enough to be able to be there for other people. And it just really took a lot of strength. So I think that where you are right now is at exactly where you need to be. I was at that place plenty of times in my life, coming into 20, even coming into 30, and then now at 40. I'm really kind of settling down and figuring out exactly where I want my time and energy at. But the main thing I can do is tell you to surround yourself with good people, people who are doing some of the things that you want to do or who are successful at things that they want to do. So I would just say protect your energy, protect yourself from being around, crowds that aren't the best, who aren't really motivated to do positive things. And write down stuff. Like for me, like writing and like really putting things, visualizing them on a board, and just kind of piecing things that I wanted. Like, you might want to do beekeeping, or you might want to write a book, like put all of that stuff up there. And it's really okay to be good at multiple things. It might not be one thing for you. You might have several things that are like locked up in a box in there. And you really just need to kind of like talk it out with yourself to kind of get those things out. And I think that, really you're definitely doing a lot of good things for yourself by even being here.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mia.
Thank you so much. And thank you for being so raw and real. It really means a lot.
Of course, and stay in touch. Really, I think it's good to have mentorship and to really, like I said, you got to have some real folks in your life. And I think for me, just personally growing up, I didn't really necessarily have a good track of friends and a good support system. And I'm going to tell you this, Mia, it might not be 10 of these people. It might be just one person that you find that's really going to, help you get on that track. And that's all you need. That is plenty. One person sometimes is enough. So, don't think it's going to be like, there's tens of thousands of people and, they're there for you. But it might just be one person that really drives you and say, you know what, this is, what I want to do, or this is, how I want to walk in my purpose, or that type of thing. So, just stay positive, keep encouraging yourself, write it down, talk it out, and don't be afraid to mess up. Please do not be afraid to mess up. And Rome was not built in a day. So, sometimes it takes people a little bit longer to kind of get on that path. Like for me, for instance, I'm, doing things at 40 that I didn't do in my 20s. So just be patient with yourself, be kind, and I think everything will work out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're gonna hand it over. I think we have time for one or two more questions. So
Okay.
Jacqueline Elliott with the best hair ever. I will pass you the mic. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, well, I think Samantha has the best hair ever. Just, I know. I've got to have that headdress. That is just beautiful.
Isn't it gorgeous? I love it.
It is. I do too. And the one you were wearing also in the video was exceptional too. And I think it's something some people don't think about, farmers being gorgeous. And you are absolutely gorgeous. From your heart, but also visually, it's just beautiful. One of the questions was about, you're welcome. Yeah, one of the questions was about someone who had some land, and he's in California and the land's in North Carolina or somewhere. And that made me realize that there's probably a lot of people with a little land here and there. And there's also another group of people who would love to get on the land but don't have the resources. I'm seeing something here that maybe we could do with Farmer's Footprint. I don't know who's going to take that on, but
It's going to be me, right?
Yeah. Let's just do it.
Pioneer it. Let's just do it. Yeah.
Let's just do it. So I don't know,
village of folks.
but I'm dropping a seed here.
Wow.
And you take it. Okay.
You ladies are right on point. We've been having this discussion for a long time because we receive a lot of emails of people who have land and they just don't have the time or the skill to care for it. And then we get emails from people, and the reality of, a lot of people who don't have access to land and that privilege. And so how can we marry these groups where everyone's benefiting? So it's something our team has been talking about. And with Amber Tam joining our team, I feel like she can really help us as well pioneer that. So let's keep the conversation going. And these ideas are amazing. And that's why we have Mighty Networks. And so that is really the place to continue this conversation and collaborate, and let's just do it. So Rebecca has her hand raised.
Hi, Samantha, you are such an inspiration. And
I appreciate it.
And I really loved your response to Mia. And I applaud Leah and others like her who aspire to this kind of work. There's a question, though, that someone else posted, and she hasn't raised her hand. So, I think it's an important one. So Jessica asks, is there an agricultural policy or lack thereof that has hurt your farming capabilities? And it could be overhead costs, loans, land, marketing, etc. So if you could talk about policies that get in the way.
You know what? I think that's really a dynamic question, and definitely something that should be put into the forefront of what's going on here, especially me coming in as a minority and a Black woman, is because first of all, I'm counted out every time I walk into most rooms. So just me being a Black woman, when I go into some place, I'm already counted out. So especially in farming, did not start today. We've got 400 years of oppression when it comes to farming in the Black community. And it's so many policies that have really, in a way, I guess it's a hindrance. I'm just trying to figure out a way, I'm sorry to word this in the right way, because you really just have to take, I guess, it as a grain of salt and not let it stop you. And that's kind of been where I've been with things. And I've been using it as more of a source of power to ignite people. And I really believe in people-driven movements. So, I'm not going to always have a handout. I can't have a handout because most of the time it's really nobody there to grab me up. Thankful for this opportunity here, and then really recognizing what I'm doing, but just honest in the world, it's not a lot. So, like I said, I'm really just trying to empower myself through this movement. And it is so many policies that are set in a place that are not, just good for, what I'm doing. I'm just trying to think of the words and not, because it kind of makes you upset when you think about, you see, white farmers who are able to kind of get in there and everything's kind of, so to say, laid out for them. And for me, every day, this is something that I've built sorry about that, with my family with no loans, no grant funding, my blood, sweat, and tears. And, when you see that, you're really thankful, like I said, for the people who appreciate you, because if it wasn't for those people, I definitely would have been out of this a long time ago. And I really, like I said, have worked hard to ignite people to understand the importance of all of this. In terms of marketing and things like that, I've been doing everything. And my husband helps me with that type of thing, so I don't really feel like I'm lacking there. And we want to be able to service everybody that we're connecting with, which we have like I think 13,000 so people on the Instagram. We have our community to serve, so we have our shoes pretty full. So it's also maintaining everything that we're doing while we're still learning to build an infrastructure before we really kind of let people in, so to say. But I really just wish people would be just more vocal about amplifying Black farmers, what they're doing. Like I said, people-driven missions that would raise funding for people like us who are, like I said, daily, we're putting in our blood, sweat, and tears for this. And we really, appreciate anybody who's standing up to say, hey, let me help them help out everybody else, if that makes sense.
It would be great to have more details, maybe offline, to see what can be done to get in front of some of these systemic issues that may hold folks back.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's really holding people back, because like I said, we already have, less of a chance of getting any of the opportunities out there, which is, really sad, because it's a lot of people who want to get into this type of world, in the world of agriculture. And it's hard because when we go to a market, we're policed there, everything's policed. And we want to have a sense of freedom out here with what we're doing, because most of the markets here in the South are definitely more whitewashed. So we're not even, it's so many rules in place that it's hard for farmers to get inside of that world. So, like I said, it's so much to lay out. I'm trying to, just kind of pick out the key pieces to just give you an idea of like what I'm really dealing with day to day. And then, you can kind of think on it and see, like what we can do as a collective to kind of make some of those things better and support people like us out here really trying to make a change in this world.
thank you.
So Tori's gonna pop in the chat Samantha's website and Instagram so you can stay connected with her. And I want to talk about the Save the Bees initiative, but I want to just do one more question because this is so dynamic.
Thank you, Logan.
Thank you, Logan, for your question. Oh, where are we? Okay. Yes. Jessica, I'm going to pass you the mic with a very cute baby.
Hi. Hey. So that question you just answered was actually for my first question of 3, but I'm going to keep it short since I think we're ending. I'm curious what your thoughts are on the Justice Bill. Are you with it?
I guess we're getting into the territory where, some of these things, make me more upset about, just all the systematic things that have been going on. Definitely don't forget about the crime bill or any of those type of things. So for me, I guess these are more of triggers for me, where I'm more like fight the power.
Yeah.
And, I'm probably less Martin and more Malcolm here. So I'm trying to, just trying to, keep it in a good sense. Because,
so what would be,
like
oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, what would be like this positive land policy you would make then?
I just allow some people who are actually out in the community, to be representative of what we need. We never get a chance to do that. Most of the time what happens is, it's problems in communities or Black communities, or minority communities. And what happens is most of the time, it's people monopolize off of our downfalls. And that can be tiring. It shouldn't be that way. And that's very upsetting when you see that. When people come in and they take, just say people not eating healthy in the community, so therefore they're getting sick, and
Right.
it just becomes like this huge systematic thing that's typically been going on for years. And they come in, and then they bring in a nonprofit, or whatever that they plan on having, and then they make money off of what's ailing our community, rather than bringing in people like me who are being leaders,
Mm-hmm.
and allowing them to figure out what's going on. I just don't feel like we always need to let them figure out our problems for us, because in the past it hasn't been positive. Nothing has been positive about it. It's always been more so of us staying down, and everybody else is coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, those are just a few things. Of course, I mean, a question like that, I would really have to dig deep and research, exactly. I mean, I would want to have numbers, statistics, and all of that to really, put a real, talk about what needs to be done, and really like hone in. And I'm actually on councils like that who do go out into the markets and do get the statistics, and I'm able to be a part of those boards and sign off on things that are in our community, and also statewide. So like I said, I have a lot of shoes that I'm feeling here. And like I said, trying to put my energy in as many places that I can to make change. And I think that that's just important for all of us, is like I said, what do you want to be remembered for? And this is something that I'm truly passionate about. And I want other people to share with me that same passion, number one, and also just to support and appreciate what we're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Wow, Samantha, thank you so much. I want to encourage people to hop on Samantha's website and visit her shop. I tasted and tried many of her products that she ships. So for the holidays coming up, what a great way to support a farmer and gift. She makes salves and honey from her bees, and sage bundles and incense and amazing, and soaps, and a lot of great stuff you can check out there. And then just on that note of supporting you, I know that Save the Bees was something I would love you to talk about, and we'll pop in the donation link there as well in the chat.
So Save the Bees is something that I really wish everybody would consider donating to. You can donate a small amount as $5 to that. And I'm able to go out and continue to educate kids, like I was talking about in the beginning of this interview, which is so close to my heart, is to be able to share the goal, number one, of representation, and for kids to be able to see somebody who looks like me as a beekeeper, because I think it can really encourage them to do the same where they might not have had the ability to see that before. So I'm able to go out more and show the power of representation, and to usher in, a new generation of beekeepers, and make this more of a diverse group of folks. So number two, I'm also able to expand the bee yard, some of the things I need to keep the bees healthy. Beekeeping is definitely expensive. And also next year, I really want to have more of a mentor program for other women, and to really pilot that off. So I want to, of course, have more hives, and to be able to build more sanctuaries with pollinators there for them. So anything that you can donate would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, you can do from $5 to donating an entire hive for coming into the spring, which I also want to connect with other farmers, and to be able to go out on those properties and have incubation hubs all over with people that I've connected with throughout not only North Carolina, but Virginia, and just anywhere I can touch. And urban beekeeping is something I want to explore too. Hopefully I can travel more, but I really wanted to go back to Chicago. I wanted to pilot something there. I think it's definitely something that's needed. And I just want to see all of these things just happen. I want to manifest all of these things and be able to go out and further this message. And I definitely need everybody's hands in on this one.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I'm reading a great book I recommend, Pedagogy of the Oppressed. And it really talks about, you know, we can support something, we can repost something, but it's not until we're really showing up, whether it's through our dollars or, you know, switching, you know, who we're buying from, to that we're really being part of the movement and making that impact. So again, highly encourage Samantha's amazing products, and or just if you're compelled to donate, there are many ways we can support her and continue this conversation on Mighty Networks. So I'm gonna invite Tori, our Director of Community, to hop in here and close us out. So thank you all. Thank you, Samantha. It has been
Thank you everybody for being here. I just really appreciate it again. I can't thank you enough from the bottom of my heart for taking the time to spend it with me. You could have did anything. Thank you from Ireland. I just really appreciate all the love. Please keep that love going around with everybody. Sprinkle a good seed. It is cost $0 to be nice to somebody else. And especially with everything that's going on in the world today, we need more kindness. We need to be more empathetic to others. We need to listen to each other. And we really need to be filled with love each other. And I just appreciate all of you. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Samantha. The comments that are pouring in, talking about how grateful everyone is to hear your inspiring, heartfelt, authentic story from all around the world is just, I'm nearly.
I know, it's
so
amazing.
beautiful.
I can't believe people are here from all over the world. I'm just really thankful. Like I said, I can't stop saying it. Thank you all for showing up here today.
Yeah, it's incredible. Thank you, Samantha, for it's such an honor that you decided to share your time with us and dive deeper on your story, which if everyone hasn't had a chance to check out Samantha's beautifully crafted Meet a Farmer feature on our blog, I'll drop that link in the event as well. So just a huge thank you to Samantha, and also for everyone for showing up. I think it's so powerful to have these ongoing conversations, and really that is part of the power of this human mosaic is being formed, is how do we talk to farmers? How do we start to, you know, bridge this conversation? And so that now you know a farmer, even if you didn't know a farmer before, now you know Samantha, and that is a really powerful thing. And I'm just really glad that all of you guys are here. So I think it's exciting to me. Let's continue the conversation. We can all jump into Mighty Networks if you haven't joined yet on that platform. I'll drop the link in the chat now. And we can continue the conversation in the event page there. And it's free, it's quick and easy to sign up. And we're going to continue to have conversations like this with Samantha, hopefully more to come with her, but also with other farmers as well, and with all of you in the community. So thank you all so much for coming today. Leah, if you have any final closing notes, I'll give it back to you. But if not, we'll go ahead and wrap. Thank you guys so much. Big love, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, again.